Hey guys, what's up? Crypto Mike here, and we're talking Gods Unchained. This is where we get together and talk about the weekend decks and some of the top performers and how much these decks actually cost. And again, we do this for a couple reasons. It's not just to be clickbait and say, oh, look how expensive these decks are. It's also interesting to note that where some people will play $5,000 and $6,000 decks, or probably even more than that, you get some of these decks that are actually decently reasonable considering some of the top costing decks around. So just again, I want to make sure that we're on the same page here, and this is just not about pointing out the most expensive decks. It's pointing out what's working at the weekend ranked and winning, the most games out of 25. So just an example of what's really going on here. And a couple things too. We did have this cheating scandal recently. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to highlight any of the actual cheating accounts, because I think that they don't need any more exposure other than videos talking about them cheating. So I'm not going to talk about how well they did, though there are some of them on this leaderboard. So anyway, what we're doing is we're talking about the weekend ranked. And again, this is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. All right, let's do it. So check this out. The top weekend ranked, again, we've got over here on the left side, H-Pain clocks in first again at not just 24 out of 25 wins, which again, the entire top 10 had 24 out of 25 wins, but we have H-Pain with the highest actual max rating. And notably, this is an interesting thing too. I'll talk about this. And again, I get some haters in the comments that say, Mike, you're always talking about deranking. And even to the point where the one guy in particular, you know who you are, I'm talking to you out there. I did respond to you and apologize for having an oversight, but now looking at this a little deeper, I think I was correct, and I'll explain why. In any case, so we've got H-Pain. We've already talked about him, so we're not going to do that, but we've got Candav J. We got 3 question marks, 6 high. Anyway, all the way down to approximately, what is it? The full top 10, Flexi. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 3 question mark deck here. We'll do Flexi, and then we'll also do somebody else we'll get to in just a sec. But all right, so that's what we're doing today. And again, it's not about clickbait and citing the most expensive decks. It's looking at the differing combinations of what is or is not successful in the weekend ranked. So let's start here. Let's start with 3 question marks. And this guy again, so he's I did go back and dig into his game logs, and he's not cheating, even though there are many people that have the name question mark, question mark, question mark. They'll have 3 or 5 or 7 question marks, or whatever it is. But this guy in particular is not. All right. But however, and this is, you'll notice the theme here regarding this real fast, and my point about the deranking, if you notice at the end of last week, this guy dumped 200 points, right? And then kind of floated through the week, and then come the weekend rank this week, he battled back up and got starting at Mythic. So I think what's happening as well, right, is there seems to be this notion that people are not actually deranking at Mythic. But if you look, you'll see a pattern that every single person I've pulled out today is deranking at Mythic, even getting down to the point where maybe they barely hang in Mythic, and then so that they can start from the bottom and then grind their way up for a better chance at maybe fighting against guys that have maybe Solar Gold or something like this, instead of the top of Mythic where you only get Mythic, right? I don't know, just taking a gander here on what's going on. But anyway, so I digress. 3 question marks, 558413 is this guy's actual name here on GU decks, but he's using this. He's using Big Beast's Nature deck, and again, 23 wins out of 25 is what this guy did, and that's pretty damn good at the Mythic level, right? And if you look, again, I've logged into MetaMask, so you can see the cards that I have that, or the cards I don't have, and he has got some Underbrush Boars I don't have, some Pyramid Wardens, Selena, Champion of Nature, but otherwise a couple Jaguar Staffs, but I have the rest of these cards. So, and you'll see over here, 89.2% wins as 37 matches as the creator of this deck. So I don't know. I mean, what's going on with this other than the value? Well, let's find out. 0.4598 ETH, and that's a cost of $1,229 approximately for this deck. And this is, again, this is from 3 question marks, 558413, and he clocks in at number 3 on this leaderboard leaderboard and a max rating of 1615 at 24 out of 25 wins. All right, so let's move on to the next guy. And you're about to see a pattern. You're about to see a pattern. Hold on, check this out. So the next guy here is we've got 6 high. All right, and back to the leaderboard. Let's pull this full screen so you can see. So 6 high is actually 4th on this list with a max rating of 1608.56. All right, and what he's playing is again, I've checked to see if he was cheating. He is not, and which again, that's a whole cheating scandal, a different video. Check that out if you haven't yet. But look at this. So he's 345491 is his number. But also notably, at the end of last weekend, what did he do? He dumped approximately 200 points, right? So it seems like this deranking thing is happening at the Mythic level. They're dropping down to the very, very bottom of Mythic to stay within the Mythic range, but getting quite a bit lower maybe competition to start. So they get maybe the first 4 or 5 wins as gimmies, ranking against lower type competition, right? Just an idea. I don't know if that's exactly what's going on, but there does seem to be a theme here regarding their graphs. And in the old days, or I'm not sure exactly when these graphs get filled out by GU decks, but the GU decks itself is interesting because sometimes you only get like 3 days of graph, and I don't know if that they've been inactive or something, but in this case you can see all these guys have like an entire week. And again, we have another notable instance here of deranking. And like I said, people, again, I get a lot of criticism. Mike, you're always talking about deranking. Well, look, even at the Mythic level, it seems to be a thing. So that means literally at every single level of this game, it's a problem. So anyway, let's get back to 6 high and his deck. So he's actually playing a nature deck. And of course, as usual, I don't have some of these really good cards, but that's fine. He's got Chiron the Teacher, which I don't have. He's got a couple Underbrush Boars, which seem to be the thing. Everybody's using these. Selena Champion of Nature, which seems to be the thing again. A couple Jaguar Staffs. You see a actual theme here, don't you? Then we got 2 Pyramid Wardens again, which I don't have. But the value of this deck is 0.5011 Ethereum. And what is that? Well, that's $1,338. And so, you know, as far as these 2 decks we picked out of the top 10 here, we got 1229 and we got 1338. So they're not ridiculous, right? In some of these other instances, we've had $5,000, almost $6,000 decks. But in this case, these seem decently reasonable. All right, so let's move on to the next guy. And this is Flexi. Let's go back to the initial top 10 list here, and we've got Flexi is down at number 10. All right, so the bottom of the list here, 1579 max rating, 24 out of 25 wins. And you'll notice, by the way, if you look at Flexi's graph, you got it. End of last weekend, D rank, a couple hundred points down to 1300-ish approximately. And then what did he do? He battled his way back up. So just saying, like, again, the individuals who have said, Mike, you're always talking about D ranking. Well, look again, because even these top guys seem to be D ranking to at least game the matchmaking system and get maybe some softer competition in the first 4 or 5 or 6 or maybe 10 games as they move up into the actual top of Mythic, or maybe middle Mythic, or whatever this is. So I don't know, you tell me. Again, like I said, is this a conspiracy? I doubt it, but it certainly seems to be a thing. How about that? But okay, so back to Flexi, 421783, and it's his number. I did check to see if he was cheating. He is not cheating. And again, I don't have a lot of war cards because I don't have war decks, because I'm, well, only have a few decks and that are proper and not starter decks. But check this out. This is pretty cool. So he's got lots of cards I don't have. Out of Its Misery, of course, Master Tactician, a couple of those. Nokvi Pillager, we've got OD Valka's Herald, Grand Hall, Size of the Harvest, Aeneas, I think is how you say that, Herdicus Brazen Hero, 2 Soul Survivors, Avatar of War, Leviathan Hunter, and of course the Pyramid Wardens. So interestingly, this deck, again, at the bottom of this list is a war deck. We got a couple nature decks here, and in this case, well, you got Big Beast Nature, we got an Other Nature, and in this case, it's a Other War deck. But if you look at the cost of this one, he's at the bottom of the list, but he seems to have the most expensive deck here. So 0.7794 Ethereum clocks in at $2,082. So, you know, again, like I said, this is not about picking the most ridiculously expensive deck and kind of highlighting that. It's about seeing sort of the range of these decks that are viable at Mythic and even being successful in the weekend ranks. So just wanted to point this out one more time. Shout out to these guys. As far as I can tell, they are not cheating, other than, well, it seems to be deranking at Mythic is a thing after all. So there you go. If you want to criticize me for that and pointing that out, so be it. It's a thing, and this is my point. It's happening. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Crypto Mike. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.